Hey everybody, Matt here. I'm going to do a video here that I told myself over the last few days repeatedly that I was not going to make. Everybody in the world is making videos about this right now, and I just kept telling myself, no, I don't need to add to the pile. You know, you can go get this information anywhere you want. There are plenty of people who are making vids about this stuff, but at some point I just want to have a discussion, and this is why I get on YouTube. It's not so that I can just spout off what I want to say and then that's it, you know, just say, hey, y'all guys just listen to me. I do it because I want to have a back and forth conversation with you guys, and whether it be through comments, video responses, you know, PMs, whatever it is. So, you know, I said, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and make a video so I can get the ball rolling for me, you know, so I can start a conversation on this. And obviously I'm talking about Japan and everything that's going on over there. You know, I'm not going to go into what specifically has happened over there. You guys know about the earthquake, the tsunami, the problems with the nuclear reactors. You guys know that. I want to discuss what happened in Japan in relation to prepping. Now, if you want to know something about Japan, I'm going to give a guy a shout out here, the East Watch. Check out his channel. A lot of you guys probably know him, some of you don't, but either way, give him a shout out. He's a great channel. That's where I go to get all my information on current events around the world. But anyway, back to how Japan relates to prepping. This is the reason why people like myself prep. This is why I'm a prepper. Now, first of all, I hate the word prepper. We use it because it's accurate, it fits. Some of us out there even like it. I personally don't, because I think prepping is something that should be common sense. I don't think we should have to you know, be able to have to call ourselves something to differentiate us from everybody else, because everybody should be doing it. You know, prepping for some people, or preppers, that word holds a negative connotation for many people. I don't know why. They think of militia guys and all this shit. You know, whatever. It's something that used to be common sense. I mean, you know, my grandmother, for example, she was what would be considered nowadays a prepper. She grew up during the Great Depression, and you know, all her life she had survival books. She always had a garden. She always canned. She always you know, planted seeds. You know, just everything. She always had a backup survival food. She always, you know, networked with other people. It was just a way of life, and it was honestly a way of life for a lot of people. That's just what people did. People grew gardens. People had, you know, people canned and jarred food to save. People just in general had a mental preparedness of, you know, going on throughout their entire life, and it was just normal. It didn't affect their lives. It wasn't some horrible, evil thing, you know. And I know it's hard for us sometimes because we kind of get in this mindset, and as somebody who was a prepper, I get it, or was a prepper, is a prepper. I get it because I've been down that road before. Sometimes you get to prepping so much, and you forget to live. You know, you're so worried about prepping, you're so worried about getting the stuff, you forget to live. And we have to remember that we prep to live, not live to prep. So, but that's the way it used to be done. It was just a part of life. It was just like, you know, going to work or putting gas in your car or doing anything else. You know, you just did it. You know, it didn't interfere with your life. It was something most people did. They prepared in some way or another for just in case something happened. I mean, it's you know, why our fathers and grandfathers used to tell us, you know, keep a little money in your mattress, or a little extra money in the bank, or whatever. But, you know, you never know what could happen. Well, they did the same thing with food and water and, you know, gardens and everything else. You know, it was just a way of life that we've somehow lost in the last, you know, 40 years or so. And it's really a shame. You know, I started doing prepping videos over this last summer, and I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't something that I ever intended to do. I started out, and still primarily am, a gun channel. But I did one video. I think it was my bug out bag video was the first one I did, because at the time I think I had run out of guns to do reviews on and stuff, and I just didn't have an idea for a video for 1 week, and so I said, I'm gonna do a bug out bag video, and I got so much response, so many PMs. A lot of people, and what was funny is a lot of people weren't leaving comments on the video. It was almost like they were embarrassed. But at that point, I realized from all the private messages I was getting that there were people out there who were like I had been just about a little over a year previous to that. Because at that point in time when I put that video out, I had been prepping for probably a little over a year. And these people wanted to know. They had a hunger for information. And so that's when I started doing my videos. Now, you know, the videos for the most part, they went well. Overall, I think most of you guys out there, you know, had no problems with me start doing prepping videos, as long as I still throw some gun porn in there, you know what I mean? And so, you know, a lot of you guys out there are preppers too. You may have a gun channel, whatnot, or primarily watch gun videos, but a lot of, you know, I've noticed that people who are into guns are more likely to also be people that prep. I don't know why, I can't explain it. It just tends to be the mentality. So I think you guys have been really great with me personally in going along with my prepping videos and not giving me too much shit. I have had some people leave me some nasty stuff, especially when I first started, and had some people unsub me because they didn't want to watch prepping videos. I had one guy in particular, I won't tell you who it is, but somebody who I had actually talked to, been friends with for probably the first 6 months I was on YouTube making videos. Just all of a sudden when I started doing prepping videos, he just started getting real shitty with me. You know, leaving crappy comments on every prepping video I did, just basically calling me a dumbass, and you know, laughing at me, and oh fucking, you know, and I realize there is that mentality out there. I don't think it lies with any of the people who sub my channel, but there definitely is this mentality out there of wanting to live in ignorant bliss, you know, wanting to not face the fact that something could happen at any time, that just because, oh, we're America, or we're the Western world, you know, we're modern, whatever the fuck you want to say, just because we can go to McDonald's and get a cheeseburger and then go pick up some beer and go home and watch our satellite TV like you know, half the rest of the world can't do, doesn't mean we're special, doesn't mean that shit is not going to happen, okay? Look at Japan. They're just as much of a Western country as we are, even though they're technically in the East. They are just as advanced, and in some ways more advanced than we are. And they just got their ass handed to them by a natural disaster. And on that topic, I want to point out something. And for anybody that has watched any news coverage of what's going on in Japan, read any articles, you know, the way that the Japanese people have handled this disaster has been nothing short of fantastic. There's been no reports of looting, violence, riots, theft, nothing. People have been opening their homes to strangers, sharing their food, sharing their water. Look at the shit that happened during Katrina, okay? Just during Katrina, just for the first couple of days, you know? Looting, rioting, people died, you know? Look what happens in LA when one of their teams wins a championship. I mean, they flip over cars and light shit on fire and destroy buildings. I mean, I gotta tell you, the Japanese people, whether it's just their nature, their culture, whatever it is, they are much better people than we are. I tell you what, because I guarantee you, if that had happened on the California coast, it would be nothing but chaos. It would be martial law, you know, it would be riots and fires and just looting and theft. There would be people dying left and right, and not because of the disaster, but because of other people. I guarantee you. Speaking of that, here's another thing. Some of you may know this already. There's been a lot of news coming out, but the fault lines that we all know are in California are just as big and just as likely to have problems and cause damage as the one that caused all the damage off the coast of Japan. California has 2 nuclear reactors close enough to those fault lines to do just as much, if not more damage, because of their proximity to those fault lines, as the damage done in Japan and to their nuclear reactors. So the likelihood of what happened in Japan happening in California, while we can never be sure that it would even ever happen, it may never happen in a million years, or it could happen tomorrow. We don't know. But something just as bad or worse could happen in California right now. We don't know. And that's why we prepare, because it could happen at any time, at any moment. You know, we've we've called ourselves lucky for a long time because nothing major has happened here, but I don't think we're lucky. I think we're ignorant. I think we try to adapt and forget all too quickly because Katrina has happened here. Look at the horrible winter storms that have happened the last couple years. Look at the tornadoes and spring storms that have come through already this year, and then look at how the horrible ones that came through last year. We've been repeatedly hit with natural disasters. Fires, floods, mudslides, tornadoes, hurricanes. We get whopped every year and people die. Yet we as Americans sit back and pretend like nothing happens. We just adapt. Oh, it happened. You know, we just ignore it. And we live in ignorant bliss. And it's almost infuriating when you try to talk to somebody and tell them there's a reason to prepare and they say, no, there's not. And you may be talking to somebody that has already been through a hurricane or a tornado or some other natural disaster. Maybe it's somebody who lives in New York. I mean, look at what happened at 9/11. I mean, there have been so many reasons, and so much has happened in the U.S. Maybe we have not gotten the level of natural disaster that has happened just here in the last year. Let's look at what just happened in Japan. Let's look at what happened in Haiti. Let's look at what happened look at New Zealand and Australia. Look at what they've gone through this year. It's been horrible down there. You know, all this stuff is happening all over the world, and it happens all the time. I'm not trying to be one of these doom guys. You know, this shit has happened for thousands and thousands of years. You know, the Earth goes through changes and periods where, you know, storms and activity goes up, and, you know, earthquake activity goes up and things like that. I mean, this is just normal. Shit happens, you know what I mean? And we just happen to be in a period of time right now where this shit's happening more than it had been. So why not prepare, you know? I mean, on top of all the rest of this shit that's going on, we've got the financial crisis, which is far from over. And if you look, just look how much the Dow has gone down since this stuff has happened in Japan. I mean, our economy is so fragile right now. The world's economy in general is so fragile right now that this one incident in this one part of the world is affecting everybody. You know, look at what's going on in the Middle East. Look how it's affecting us for gas prices, you know. I mean, there's so many reasons. It's blatant. It's in your face. It's out there. So many reasons that we should be taking some precautions and preparing somewhat, you know. We buy insurance for our houses. We buy insurance for our cars. We buy fire insurance, flood insurance. But yet, why don't, you know, and I know a million other preppers have said the same thing, so I'm not trying to rip anybody off, but it's a very good example. Why not stock up a little extra food, a little extra water, a little extra gas, you know? That's insurance, isn't it? And it's so inexpensive, you know, buying a little bit extra when you go to the store. You know, next time you go to the gas station to fill up your car, fill up an extra 5-gallon container and throw it in your garage. It's not that hard, and it's not that expensive. You know, you do it little by little. So anyway, that's my rant, whatever, you know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and comments and video responses and everything, because it really is something that I just couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. I had to say something. And I knew I was going to go off at some point, so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Put it in a video and see what you guys have to think about it. You know, take a break from the gun videos I've been putting out lately, which I have more coming of those too. So anyway, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.